Original composition, instrumental version of original composition. I've been working on that for a couple of years now. I tried to record it once, but it didn't quite turn out as we had hoped, so it's been shelved. It's a legendary unreleased Nabucco Dinosaur tune, Nabucco Dinosaur. You can have a listen on all your preferred streaming services. The title of which is This is the beginning of the end of the decade, and it certainly seems like it, doesn't it? Well, let's see. Today I was listening to a channel, a YouTube channel, which I kind of like. It's rather good, I should say. It's called Academy of Ideas. And they were talking about menticide. That's it might be a little bit related to mass formation, which you may have heard about recently. Anyway, it was sort of a review of a book by, or some excerpts from a book by Václav Havel, if you remember, from Czechoslovakia. And he was talking about ways of combating menticide. And menticide is procured when there's when the masses are fearful of the future and are longing for order. And then that way the society can descend into totalitarianism because it offers a solution. But then the masses have to give up their freedoms for a bit of security. And we remember what Benjamin Franklin said, right? Those who would give up a little bit of freedom for a little bit of security will get neither. So, rather apropos at this time of in our collective lives, no? Our collective shared existence on this ride, this Bill Hicks loud and colorful roller coaster known as life. So, premise being that we're in the midst of a mass psychosis and we got to figure out ways how to reverse this mass psychosis. And there are 4 principles which are outlined in this book by Václav Havel called, the name of the book is The Power of the Powerless. So the first is you have to bring your order to your own mind. Now that's something I'm going to have to work on. The second is to gather information that counters the precepts of the mass psychosis. And that is difficult to do because of censorship. Oh, is there any censorship in the world today? I'm wondering. I wonder if there's a controlled narrative. Anyhow. So, he says another technique, another useful technique is to ridicule the leadership, because and you can do that with humor, and the demagogues are incapable of humor, otherwise they're going to lose their grasp. But what you got to do is try to chip away at their authority in that manner. The fourth is an interesting idea which I hadn't heard about before tonight. Well, I heard about it before tonight, but it's called parallel structure. So that's the idea that you exist physically inside of the totalitarian system, but morally outside of it. So, for instance, if you want to check to see if someone has a little star on their lapel to get into your restaurant, there might be a restaurant right next door that doesn't require the lapel star. That's a crap example, but you see where I'm going. So then within this parallel society, it's in harmony with its own aims, and in that way it can extricate itself from the totalitarianism. And the final requirement is you need action by as many people as possible. So I think that's the stage that we're at now, especially in places like the People's Republic of France, where I am right now. And it's just going to have to be up to the people to decide that we're no longer going to comply with this idiocy, because with everything that's, even today, all the more the information we're coming, there's no reason. So what do you think? Like one day you're just going to wake up and they're say, okay, go delete your social credit score app. It's over. It's done. You're free. No, it's not going to happen. We got to do it ourselves, especially in a place like this with a dictator like Emmanuel Macron in the works. So there are a lot of you here today. Anyone have any questions on this 76th episode of the Electric Podcast? Or would you like perhaps a bit more music? A little painting update. Painting's coming along nicely. This one is called 98-100 Rue Oberkampf, or as I like to say, 9800 Rue Oberkampf. Let's see what I did. Oh, I put these pipes in today. Ooh, laying some pipe. So it's coming along. Did this little bit yesterday, like that. So the color's a little bit skewed because of the filter I'm using, but you get the idea. It's going to be up on Yield website pretty soon here. So, anybody? I guess I'll try to do, while I'm waiting for someone to gather the courage to pose a question or a request, I'll run through this again and hopefully with fewer sour notes. This is the beginning of the end of the decade. I think it's hitting the buttons on my jacket. Well, I'll got a little bit more time here, so I wanted to convey a story because I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of it all. So I posted these to Yield LinkedIn as well. And, on LinkedIn you can see who's perving on you. It says, oh, this guy visited your profile. So, old buddy. I mean, I've known this guy for, it's got to be, towards 45 years. 45 years I've known this guy. So I'm like, hey, mister, how you doing? What's going on? Then we had a few exchanges. And he said, when I looked at your profile and figured out that you were living in Paris and working as an artist, I wasn't surprised at all. That's kind of a nice compliment, isn't it? And sort of an affirmation that you've made the right decision. So, my New Year's resolution is to make more proper decisions. Okay, anyone? Freebird? Okay, thanks everyone for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed that mini impromptu concert, and hope you learned a little bit about escaping the mass formation, totalitarianism, and menticidal psychosis, which we're experiencing today in this Bill Hicks life. Ciao for now. Never forget, fight the power, and sic semper tyrannis.